Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Welcome to our journey into the timeless wisdom of Bhagavad Gita. In this sacred conversation, Sri Krishna guides Arjuna through confusion, fear, duty, and the deeper meaning of life. Through Krishna's teachings, we will explore who we truly are, why we experience suffering, what happens beyond this temporary body, and how we can develop real peace and spiritual understanding. As we study each teaching, our goal is not simply to gain knowledge, but to understand it, apply it in our daily lives, and gradually transform our consciousness. Let us begin this beautiful journey with Krishna.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're stepping right onto a chariot beside a legendary warrior in those incredibly tense, painfully silent moments right before a world-altering war kicks off. We're zeroing in on a massive sequence in the Bhagavad Gita, specifically verses 1.25 and 1.26, and we're going to unpack the absolute psychological weight of this moment. Picture it, you're on the brink of the biggest battle of your life. The armies are drawn, the conch shells are primed to blow, but before a single arrow flies, time just kind of stands still.
Just take a second and really let this sink in. What if your ultimate duty meant utterly destroying your own family? You know, we usually think of ancient epics as these black and white, good versus evil stories, right? Clear-cut heroes fighting monstrous villains. But this text grounds the epic into a deeply human, terrifyingly relatable dilemma. It's not just about politics or land anymore. It's about a warrior staring across a field and seeing the people he loves most in the entire world.
Moving into Section 1, the battlefield, armies assembled. We're standing in the physical setting of this impending war. It's a place where legendary commanders and massive, literal, earth-shaking forces are gathered. You can just feel that the atmosphere is completely electric with anticipation.
Let's dive right into verse 1.25. It reads, "In the presence of Bhishma, Drona, and all the other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, 'Just behold, Partha, all the Kurus assembled here.'" Now notice those specific names, Bhishma and Drona. These guys aren't just random generals. These are the absolute titans of their world, the most respected chieftains around. Just the sheer daunting presence of these figures creates this immense, almost suffocating tension on the field.
Okay, part 2, the divine charioteer and Krishna's insight. We're shifting our focus away from those massive armies covering the plains and zooming into the incredibly intimate, nuanced dynamic happening on just one chariot, between the warrior Arjuna and his charioteer, Lord Krishna.
What's absolutely fascinating here is the specific language the text uses. It refers to Krishna as Hrishikesha, which means the super soul of all living entities. Think about what that implies. Krishna isn't just some physical driver here. He knows exactly what is going on inside Arjuna's mind. Before Arjuna even speaks a single word about his anxiety, Hrishikesha already knows the profound emotional turmoil and hesitation that's about to completely paralyze his friend.
And listen to how Krishna actually addresses Arjuna. He calls him Partha. This brilliantly illustrates the depth of their relationship. See, Partha means the son of Pritha, also known as Kunti. And why is that a big deal? Well, because Pritha is actually the sister of Krishna's own father, Vasudeva. So this really highlights a deeply rooted familial tie. Krishna agreed to take on this menial role of a charioteer, not out of some obligation, but as a devoted friend and family member. He is driving that chariot purely out of love for his cousin.
So this brings us to a super interesting point from the source material's purport. When Krishna says, "Just behold, Partha, all the crews assembled here," there's a really deep layer of meaning beneath those words. Did Arjuna want to stop there and not fight? Krishna perfectly knows Arjuna's mind, and he never expected that kind of hesitation from such a great warrior, the son of his aunt Pritha. The purport actually explains that the Lord is making a friendly, almost sarcastic joke here. He's essentially saying, go ahead, take a good look at them, fully predicting the massive wave of dread it's about to just wash over Arjuna.
That brings us to Section 3, a family divided, seeing the enemy. Let's follow Arjuna's gaze outward now. We're transitioning from that divine internal insight to the stark human devastation that's waiting for him. He's looking out at the very forces he's supposed to destroy. Arjuna looks out, and the text tells us exactly what he sees in verse 1.26. There, Arjuna could see, within the midst of the armies of both parties, his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his fathers-in-law and well-wishers. Just let the sheer weight and horror of those familiar terms sink in for a second. He's scanning the enemy lines, presumably looking for monsters to slay, and instead, he basically sees his own reflection. He sees his own bloodline.
Look at the reality of these opposing forces. Fathers, grandfathers, teachers, uncles, brothers, sons, friends, fathers-in-law, well-wishers. It's an absolute tragedy. This isn't some war against a foreign invader. It's a civil war. It's a family dispute that has escalated to literally global proportions, where the enemy is everyone you have ever loved, respected, or nurtured.
Moving to Section 4, the ultimate dilemma, faces in the crowd. By naming the specific historical figures Arjuna sees, the text makes his emotional devastation incredibly concrete and so deeply personal.
This brilliantly illustrates the reality on the ground. Under grandfathers, he sees Bhishma, the patriarch who literally bounced him on his knee, along with Somadatta. Under teachers, he sees Dronacharya, the exact man who taught him how to shoot the very bow he's currently holding, right alongside Kripachya. He sees maternal uncles like Shalya and Shakuni. He sees his brothers, his cousins like Duryodhana, and sons like Lakshmana. Arjuna isn't out there fighting faceless soldiers in armor. He is fighting his revered mentors and his beloved family members.
And this creates the ultimate paradox, right? On one side, you have the duty of a warrior, the expectation to fight for justice, to uphold the law, to be the champion that his side so desperately needs. But on the other side, you have the total destruction of his lineage. Fulfilling his duty means actively participating in the slaughter of his own family tree. It's a crushing psychological reality spanning across both armies.
And honestly, it goes even further than direct family. He saw his father's contemporaries like Bodhishrava. He saw well-wishers like Kritavarma, and his closest friends like Ashwatthama. I really want to reiterate here that this was not just some political battle over a throne. His entire support system, his whole personal history, was standing right there on the opposing side, fully armed and ready to die.
So, the crucial point really comes down to this. How do you raise a weapon against the very people who taught you how to hold it? That question perfectly captures Arjuna's emotional precipice. He's standing right at the edge of the abyss. Understanding this immense, paralyzing tension is absolutely key to everything that follows in the text. It really makes you wonder, faced with such an impossible, soul-crushing choice, how will this dilemma possibly be resolved? Keep that question in mind as you continue your exploration of this incredible text. Thanks for joining me for The Explainer, and I hope this helped illuminate the profound human drama at the very heart of the battlefield.